Good afternoon and happy Monday to all of your sunshiny faces. Oh my goodness, guys, we got so much done today. It is ridiculous. Honestly, guys, today alone I got 2 loads of dishes done, 2 loads of laundry. I also ended up I dusted in the living room. Well, I like dusted the ceiling and everything like that. And just like, because okay, we used to have like one of those cobweb like mops or whatever they're called, or brooms or whatnot, and it was super helpful because it's like long like a broom and everything like that, and you just take them and you do the corners and you can do the ceiling and everything like that. Ours broke a couple of years ago. Honestly, we'd had it since before I was born, and it broke like a couple of years ago. We've had to use just like a regular like duster, and it was a pain in the butt to try and like climb around some places in the living room to try and do it. So I did that today, and that was before I actually was planning on going and working and doing yard work today. And so I did that, and then I also took Windex and I went over the 2 mirrors in the living room and the front door, and then also the TV, and wiped those down. I didn't end up doing the windows just because for one, they were closed, and well, the blinds were closed but the windows were open, so I was like, well, I'm gonna have to go around, try and get behind the chairs. My mom was sitting in the double recliner in the middle, so I was like, I'll have to wait until she moves to be able to move them and get behind there. So I was like, I'll do those sometime later. And I think someone just washed them recently, but since I was doing like the TV and everything like that, I just decided I'd go ahead and the mirrors and just do the front, the door. Then I ended up actually then at about noon or 1 o'clock when Matthew and Jack finally decided to get out of bed, because I've been up since about woke up at 7:50 this morning. I actually think I was up a couple minutes before my alarm clock went off today, but I didn't actually get up out of bed until about like 9:30, guys. I was honestly like on my phone, and I was just kind of laying there, and I was just kind of snuggling with the puppies, and just, yeah, because Bravo's so sweet in the morning. He loves to snuggle. Charlie likes to try and push me out of bed. He like takes his nose and will like try and push me actually out of bed, like under the covers, and tries to push me out. So, yeah, he doesn't like to snuggle that much. He wants to like, get me up, and Bravo would rather just snuggle with me in bed, which is really cute. But I didn't get up, like, didn't get out of bed super early this morning. But Matthew and Jack got up, and then we decided we were going to go outside and do some yard work. So, originally I was like, you know what, we'll do the flower beds. And then, because all 3 of them were back there, or outside, I was like, you know what, let's work on the back behind the garage. So before they even got outside, because they were taking forever to get outside, I had already got my stuff, put my sunscreen on, ran outside, and it was all ready and everything like that. And I weeded in between the first bed that I actually did, in between like our driveway and our house, which is it's a small little section of like flower bed, and then there's the bush, and then it's our front flower bed that I already did. So I didn't really need to do a whole ton. It was a very small section, but I just weeded out a couple things. There was a couple pieces of like tall grass in there, and there was one little, like a couple little weeds in there that I just real quick pulled out, but they were super small too. So it was just like about 5 minutes of honestly taking that stuff and getting it out of there. And then I ended up going in the back. And we got so much stuff done back there today, guys. Matthew ended up on the side of our house between our deck and our driveway. We have like this little patch, and we just had kind of been using it as storage. There was grass there. I think there still is like grass there, but it's a lot of weeds. It has been housing our wood and also our rocks. So like wood from our old fence that used to be up there. Oh my gosh, the dog just pushed the blanket off my bed. And now he got scared. The fencing that used to be there, my dad has to take the nails out before he can put them in the garbage, so that when the garbage men take the garbage and stuff like that or whatever, it just doesn't wind up like stabbing anybody. So he has to take all of those out first. So he's been doing that and like slowly been dwindling the pile down, but it's been taking a little while. I have like, there's honestly just a couple pieces of like wood there left, and then we ended up having a ton of rocks. So Matthew ended up actually moving the rocks and ended up then mowing that whole area and weed whacked around it. And I pulled out some of the taller weeds, but the rest of the stuff is actually all like short or grass kind of in that area. It just needed to be mowed over. So once we got all the rocks out of there, because we live in, I don't even know what it's called, but like because of like where the glaciers used to be or whatever, I don't remember what it's called, but all I know is that because of it, there's like a ton of rocks all over the place. And honestly guys, you dig like a couple, we have to clear out our flower beds like before we could put anything down. My parents had to dig like all of these rocks out. We just have tons of rocks that we use, and like that's why we use them for like bordering our flower beds, because we have so many of them. And so we keep, you know, getting more and more rocks every single time we dig something up, or you know, anything like that. And so, you know, some are just from different areas and stuff like that too, that we ended up moving around or something like that. And two, we used to have a flower bed on that side, and so there used to be rocks over there as well. But anyways, long story guys, they were all in this one spot, and Matthew ended up moving them into the driveway actually, so that he could mow in that area, because that's where we were putting them at the time. So now that was all taken care of, me and Jack went to the back behind the garage, and we got half of all of that taken care of guys, which was crazy, because I would have showed you guys before and afters, but it was ridiculous. There were weeds like probably almost as tall as me, honestly guys. It was just ridiculous back there. And so we ended up, like, honestly guys too, the thing that frustrates me is that I had like half of it cleared out at the beginning of like May or whatever it was, when I first started kind of like weeding and stuff like that. And there was a nice pathway to get back there, and like everything was super short, and I was like, this will be like super easy, just, you know, I'll come by real quick and, you know, rip everything out. And you know, I didn't see it as being that big of a problem. Well, like fast forward a month, 2 months later, and now all of a sudden it's like they just grow like crazy. And so we got it all, half of it taken care of. I ended up weeding out and pulling out like almost all of the weeds over there. And then once that was done, Matthew ended up doing another small portion that I had already done, but again, it needed to be gone over again. Then there was tall grass in there too, and we had a tree that was back there that fell over, so there's like this huge mound of dirt, and then there was like grass that was growing all over it. So we ended up having to get the lawnmower that Matthew did afterwards, once I pulled all of the tall weeds out, and then ran over everything with the lawnmower. So we're halfway done with back behind the garage. So tomorrow is supposed to rain. I don't know if it's going to rain tomorrow during the day. My mom did say it's supposed to thunderstorm tomorrow night. If it doesn't tomorrow during the day, we might try and get the other half of it done, which would be amazing. But if not, I'm planning on making my freezer dinners tomorrow, because I've got, I think, like 8 to do this week. So I might do that tomorrow, and if it is raining. If not, I think I want to dedicate like an hour or two to doing some tasks inside as well, because we have got I think the one eyesore and the huge problem in our kitchen right now is our snack cabinet needs to be taken care of. Honestly guys, at least every other week I feel like it needs to kind of just be purged and gone through, or at least once a week to kind of stay on top of it. But it gets super out of hand, and then it's a mess, and it needs to be completely just gone through. So I'm thinking that, again, if it does rain, to enlist Matthew and Jack to help tomorrow with doing that. So yeah guys, but we got so much stuff done. I made dinner for tonight. Then after that, and after like while I was making dinner, I ended up helping my mom actually organize her office and clean out like part of it. We got maybe like a portion of it done. We got the floors all swept up, and you know, some stuff picked up and cleaned up off the floors. Some of her bins organized. Her table kind of cleared off a little bit in there. So it's not completely done, but it was much better and a little bit more organized and everything like that than it was, which is awesome. So we ended up taking care of all of that, and then after that we had dinner. So yeah, and like I said to you guys, 2 loads of laundry and 2 loads of dishes I got done for today. So I was like on a roll as far as like I got stuff done for today, which was amazing. Which I feel like I've been getting a lot of stuff done, especially since I've been like waking up so early. Like I really feel like I can actually get a lot of stuff done. It was so weird too, because the puppies weren't here today, the puppies we were fostering. And so I was like, at first I woke up this morning, I was like tiptoeing into the kitchen, and I was like, they're not even here. I don't need to do that anymore, because normally they'd be up before I was and like waking everybody else up and stuff like that, and or they'd wake up if they heard me. So I was like, this morning at first I did realize that they weren't here, but then when I actually got up to like go make my breakfast and have coffee and stuff like that, I was like, oh, I should probably be quiet because they're still sleeping. And then I was like, wait, no, they're not here anymore, which was kind of refreshing. But anyways though guys, I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.